Morning everyone. Vlog today, bit of a juice review in this one. Wanted to go through some new juices that I've got, talk to you about what I've been vaping, and that's about it really. Done a few videos recently, but I haven't been quite as active as I have been in the past, but yeah, hopefully that will change. So what I wanted to talk to you about specifically is the juices that I've been trying. So the new Grimmgreen signature line and some other bits and pieces as well. So I decided that I wanted to try them. So I got hold of a couple of bottles of the Grimmgreen signature line. So I've got Vlog Day and Bro Trip and another little bottle of rainbow sherbet in the dark, and I suppose it was just a case of wanted to try them. They're a bit of a hype at the moment, people very keen on them, but really I suppose what attracted me to these particular juices, and it may be a stupid thing, but they come in 100ml bottles. You know, actually that is a really good size bottle for me. Obviously 60ml for the Buddha juice, so considerably bigger. And these ones are obviously your standard 30ml, but they are nice, they're good bottles, and they cost £30 a pop, so not too expensive. 30 quid plus delivery of about £5, so 35 for 100ml is not a bad deal. But yeah, so what have I been doing with them? So I've obviously I've obviously been vaping them, but I've been using them in various different setups, and I've got through about half of the Vlog Day so far, 2/3 of the Bro Trip, so I think I'm in a good position to be able to talk about what my thoughts are on them. I've tried them in a number of different devices, and they all work very nicely. So just as a bit of an overview, there's 3 in the signature line. I haven't got the normal view because I wasn't sure that would be something that I'd be so interested in, but I will try it at some point. But I got Bro Trip, Vlog Day and Rainbow Sherbet in the dark just because I wanted to try it. I like sherbet flavours. So let's talk about the Rainbow Sherbet in the dark to start with. So nice bottle, 3 milligrams. This is a 70 VG blend, and it's quite I've decanted it into a unicorn tube, so it's quite a light coloured liquid. It's in terms of the smell, it doesn't have a massive amount of smell. It smells, I suppose, a little bit lime. Yeah, I think there's probably a bit of lime in there that you can smell when you're just smelling the juice. But in terms of actually vaping on it, it tastes very sherbety. So I've got this in the limitless, new coils on that, and I've got that set to 55 watts on a 0.24 ohm coil. Let's have a vape. Yeah, so this is supposed to be citrus, berry and lime. Now, does it taste like that? No, I don't think it does. It tastes like hot sugar in your mouth. It is incredibly sweet. Not to say that it's unpleasant, but it is just an incredibly sweet, and all I tend to get out of this is just the sugar. Not saying that it's not a nice juice. It is a nice juice, and it's a nice sweet juice, but it's very similar to things like this. So this is Easy Drip. This is, what's this called? This is called Rainbow Sherbet as well. It's more like just a sweet slightly lemony sherbet flavour, just sugar. Vapes very nicely though, and I would imagine it doesn't have so much in the way of the artificial sweetness. I don't know, it doesn't gunk up my coils too badly when I've been dripping this. So I've dripped this, I've vaped this through a tank, and it's not gunked up the coils too badly at all. So quite happy from that perspective. Would I buy this again? Probably. It's about 16 quid for 30 mils, so you know it's on the higher end of juice prices, but it's not unreasonable. I would normally want to pay sort of about £15 for 30 mils is the sort of premium juice point, I suppose, for 30 mils. But yeah, it is it's quite moreish. It's nice juice. So moving on, bear with. So next up we have what have we got next? We have Vlog Day. So again, decanted this into unicorn bottle. Vlog Day is again, it is a 70-30 blend, VG/PG, 100 ml. This is 3 milligrams again. Again, nice bottle, all that sort of good stuff, but not that we really care about that because we're decanted. And this one is, the flavour profile is called Lemon Cream Macaroon. Now, I was incredibly excited at the prospect of this, and I am vaping this in the Recoil RDA, that is a 0.21 coil on at 60 watts. But you can't see that. Let's have a taste. So my friend tried this and told me that it tasted of lilies. I quite like this juice. It's it's more throaty than I would expect from a 70-30 blend. It definitely tastes and feels like it's got more PG in it. Again, not unpleasant. This is definitely not as sweet as the rainbow sherbet in the dark, or actually a lot of juices. It's much more, much more, I think, more of a complex flavour. The cream sort of dulls it down. It's not a sweet cream as such, I don't think. A slight bakery note, but with a sort of a slightly citrus flavour on it. It feels just a little bit muted, and you end up wanting something a little bit sharper, or I find I want something a little bit sharper. You know, when you try things like the Buddha Dew, which is a very, very lemon soda sort of citrusy flavour, this hasn't got that. This has got a sort of a gentle lemon with a sort of a creamy overtone with a bakery backing, I think, or maybe the other way around. So lemon at the end, macaroon at the front, and cream in the middle. Yeah, so it feels like it's a nice juice, and for the price point at £30 for 100 ml, it's not a bad juice as a daily vape or an all-day vape. And what it's not going to do is it's not going to overpower your taste buds. It's not going to be one of those juices which you can't vape all day. It's quite gentle. It's quite a relaxed juice, especially if you're having it, you know, in short bursts. The throat hit is quite nice. Yeah. I would recommend this. I will buy this one again, I think, but it's still there seems to be something which is a little bit missing with it, and I don't know what it is. Maybe it's that hit of citrus that I was looking for, I think, which again the rainbow sherbet in the dark is still feels like it's lacking slightly. I was expecting this to be a very creamy vape, very very complex, something which was going to be really delicious, something that I'd absolutely love. And unfortunately, it's not quite there. I think it could do with a little tweak. But generally, perfectly good juice, and I would absolutely recommend going out and buying it. If it was 30, if it wasn't £30, if it was £15 for 30 ml, then I would be questioning, do I actually want this juice? Because I think that's quite expensive for something which I'm not necessarily a massive fan of. But for for 100 ml, it's not a bad juice. However, the final juice which I have for you today, Bro Trip. Again, very similar in terms of the makeup, 3 milligrams, 70/30 VG, PG, and it is delicious. So the flavour profile on this is strawberry peach-ade. And you can really smell the peach straight off the bat when you smell it. There's less of the strawberry evident when you actually smell the juice. There's definitely you can taste the peach in the background and the foreground. But I have this in the Halcyon, so I've got a Velocity Squonker on there, and I've got this slightly higher. This is a 0.3 ohm coil, and I've got this at 44 watts. Sometimes I think this one can stand to be quite hot, but this one is absolutely delicious. Yeah, so it's got a really nice forward fruity sort of flavour, so you can really get that peach out. But it's not what I would describe as sort of you can't really taste the strawberry as much in there as you can with something like Strawberry Circus or some of the other sort of strawberry sort of flavours that you can get. I get much more peach in there. It's just sweet enough to really sort of enjoy and to really get that sort of flavour. It sort of coats your mouth in a beautiful, creamy sort of sweet overlay. The vapour that you get off it is delicious. Just the right amount of throat hit in there. And it has a real sort of, at the back end you can really taste the peach as well, so I would suggest that you get more of a nondescript on the inhale, more of the strawberry, and then at the back end the peach definitely comes down the nose, through the bottom of the tongue. You can taste it. It reminds me of my first experiences with things like the 13th floor elevapors, the Bermuda. That is intensely fruity. And I think this is an absolutely cracking juice. I think he's absolutely nailed it with this one. I think it's complex, but also easygoing enough so that you can have it as that all day, everyday vape. Just a delicious juice, and I would absolutely recommend it. I got mine in the UK from hermanvapes.co.uk. Yeah, hermanvapes.co.uk. And whilst their shipping is relatively expensive, the service is fantastic, really quick. They emailed me straight back when I placed the order. There was actually a slight mistake in the first order that I made. They emailed me and it got resolved immediately. So really good customer service. Very impressed. When I ordered the last two, the delivery cost was £8 though, so it does add on to the cost of your juice. So I would recommend that if you're going to buy, then I would suggest maybe go for, go and buy more in bulk. If you buy sort of 300 ml at a go, then it's probably worth it. But that will see me for some time. So yeah, that's the 2 Grimmgreen signature lines that I've tried, and the rainbow sherbet in the dark. So along with the juices that I've been tasting over the last couple of weeks, ready for review, I've just thought that it would be worth revisiting some of the devices that I've been using. Now I'll talk about the devices that I've just shown you to taste the juices, and address some of the comments that I've had, some of the questions that have arisen from the videos that I've done so far. So first of all, I suppose the limitless. Yes, this is the first limitless, it's not the plus. So for those people who've been asking me questions about the plus, all I can say is that I assume that there are similarities around how it works and how you would wick it, but I haven't even seen physically seen one of the pluses. I haven't looked at one, I haven't taken one apart at all, I've just seen videos of them. I understand the deck is slightly different, so the posts are slightly different, but other than that I couldn't comment any further. In terms of leaking, and some questions I had on the no leaks video, it's a dripper. It's full of liquid. Sorry, it's not a dripper. It's a tank. It's full of liquid, and there are holes. So if you absolutely try and make it leak, then it will leak. But in normal operation, it won't leak. As far as I'm concerned, I mean, I can hold it up like that, absolutely fine, and nothing is absolutely fine. You get your few bubbles coming up, and that's the cotton blocking it off, and it's the cotton absorbing it, and what you will end up getting then is a little bit more of a sort of a saturated vape, because the cotton has become maybe a little bit oversaturated. But genuinely, I mean, for those people who commented on the video and said, oh yeah, well, it's going to leak, all that sort of thing. Yeah, of course it does. It can leak slightly, and if you overfill it and you take the top cap off and put the top cap back on, and there's juice between the O-rings, yes, there will be just a little bit of excess juice that squidges out. But honestly, if you wick it correctly, you hang your wicks down and you put them into the holes so that they are blocking them but not completely blocking them, then the cotton should keep up with it. If you're going to be holding it upside down in a bag for hours on end, then yes, I suspect you will get some problems with it. But day-to-day vaping, leave it on the desk, hold it in your pocket upright, even sideways, it's absolutely fine. Please don't worry, and please, in terms of the comments, absolutely, you will get leaking if you try, but generally and honestly, I haven't had any leaks from that build that I showed you on the other video. So, any questions, you're absolutely welcome to ask. There were other comments on how it vaped and various other things. I'd ask you to just go back to my sort of first impression video and see what your thoughts are. But I still think that this is my favourite tank, bar none. The only issue that I have ever really found with this is that it's sometimes quite hard to fill where the cotton blocks off the hole. So you need some sort of, I find that it's much easier to fill with a unicorn bottle with a narrow tip rather than something like a tip like that, or a dripper bottle. But once you get the hang of it, no problems, no issues at all. Second device that I looked at, and some comments that I had, obviously the Therion. That seems to have been an incredibly popular video on my channel. It's had lots of views on so far, and you know, I think it warrants it. It's a great device. It looks nice. It looks solid. It's great. The only sort of things that I would mention that I potentially didn't mention in the video was it does get hot, but I believe that is the DNA 75 board which is to blame. I think that the DNA 75 does get quite hot. The leather does get a little bit stained to a degree, but you can just wash that off, give it a sort of a rub with a damp cloth, and it's fine. But other than that, it's been absolutely stellar. Really good. Just change some of the settings in eScribe. You can't see that, can you? But put the percentage, the battery percentage on there. And yeah, it's a cracking vape. I use it normally about 55-60 watts. Been using it almost exclusively with the recoil, and it looks absolutely cracking. Really nice vape. There was one guy who commented on my Therian video, and he said that the leather might be dog leather. Now, as I commented back, and this is no reflection on you, sir, not at all. I hope that Lost Vape wouldn't use dog leather for these things. I would assume that it wasn't, because that seems ever so slightly weird. I think that would irreparably damage Lost Vape's reputation as being a high quality, high end mod maker. You know, so hopefully it's not dog leather, and if it is, then please do let me know. But at this minute in time, I'm very happy with it, and I think that it's a great mod. And then finally, in terms of other devices that I've been using heavily, it's the Halcyon. It's the DNA 200. So as I said, I am a great fan of these Evolve devices, and I love the Lost Vape products. They're fantastic. I've been using this because the battery life is so poor. You know, it has the 3S LiPo in there, which you can see, which doesn't hold a huge amount of charge. I tend to build higher for it and vape at a lower wattage. So as I've got here, 0.33 at 45 watts, which gives me 3.8 volts. So, you know, it's a decent sort of level. Excuse me. I've been using various squonking RDAs on it, but the RDA which I've really sort of kept with is this Velocity. So the Velocity version 2, I've got a 510 drip tip in the top because I have lost the chuff cap, or the wide bore cap, but it produces a very nice vape. It doesn't leak because you've got that higher airflow slot there, so you can squonk away to your heart's content and you don't get any leaks out of it, unlike the Tsunami, which has that sort of Kennedy style airflow which you squonk up and then it pops down into the holes. But yeah, I've found this absolutely fantastic. Problems with it are the battery door. I found this tends to, and it has been getting stiffer and stiffer to get in and out. The sled, or the sleeves, the runners seem to get really dirty, or they can get quite dirty, and you end up finding that you're having to force the sled back on. Also, the edge of the battery is not quite flat, so if you can see, there's that little, well, not divot, but it's like a sort of a bump almost. So when you're pushing your sled over it, it gets caught on that ever so slightly. Not much, not enough to damage the battery at all, but just to sort of scratch a little bit of the sticker, and that sometimes is a little bit annoying. The other thing that I have found, which is more concerning with this device, is down here, the faceplate. This, you won't be able to see this, and it's very much just a tactile thing. It's slightly loose, ever so slightly loose, so when you press it just wiggles ever so slightly, maybe not even a millimeter, but you can feel where the battery port is, or sorry, the charging port, the USB cable, it's ever so slightly loose, and that has changed since I've got it. It's not something that I've just noticed. It's when I'm holding it like this, I can feel just on my little finger, I can feel that it's moving ever so slightly. Not at the top, just at the bottom. So I've ended up, I turn it around and I vape it like this. Squonk, vape. But yeah, so that's a bit of a rerun of my devices. Hopefully you enjoyed the juice section. If you're interested in the juice stuff, very happy to do some more juices at some point if you're interested. I can go through some of the other juices that I've tried, some of the ones that you'd like me to try. I know that I've talked many times about the Zeus juice, and I've talked about Buddha Dew quite a few times as well, or a couple of times, but I have got a lot of juice which I've tried, and yeah, very happy to go through them. Some of the other ones that I've been trying, so I don't know if you remember, I had a bit of a love affair with Cotswold Vapor. Initially they had the 3 lines, which were the Golden Flapjack, the Custard Donut, and the Super Bowl. Here's the Super Bowl. Where are we? Golden Flapjack. They released a new set of juices. So there's the Big Slice. Bit knackered now, this bottle, unfortunately, but that's an apple flavour. And then Citrus Punch, which is a citrus punch. Not massively complex flavours, but very nice in their own way. I love the unicorn bottles that they come with, and I use them all the time for all of my other juices, so they can be recycled, which is very nice. Excuse me. But if you'd like me to do any more reviews in terms of juices, then let me know. I don't have the most advanced palate in the world, but I'll just tell you what I think. So look, yeah, thanks very much. I will see you again soon, no doubt. I'll do some other videos. If you want other videos, particularly if you want any updates on any products that I've had previously, anything that I've used in the past, absolutely let me know in the comments, and I will get back to you. But yeah, thanks very much. Let's use the Therian with some vlog day to see you out, and I hope you have a lovely weekend. It looks absolutely foul here today. Disgusting weather here in Middle England. Really rainy, really disgusting, and it looks like winter has arrived. But cheers, I will see you again soon.